Sports world would focus in on him and a marquee opponent in a Las Vegas super fight. And finally, he's chased the dream down. But the run to glory began not in Las Vegas, but in North Dakota, the home for Virgil Hill. It is where he is trained, where he's fought, where he's grown into a hero, because it is where Virgil Hill began. And from those beginnings, he became an Olympian in the Los Angeles Games of 1984, where he won a silver medal and became a hero to the fans in his native state. It was an idol level in sports that there perhaps was only reached by Roger Maris.
I've just had a lot of support. You know, there are no major sports franchises up there, so, you know, they kind of follow me very, very closely.
And there has been no letting down of his fans. Most of his 10 title defenses have been in North Dakota, delighting his home staters with speed, boxing ability, and enough punch to build up this impressive resume. But there's one thing missing on the boxing record of Virgil Hill, a win over a certifiable superstar in $1 million payday. With an opponent like Thomas Hearns, he now gets the chance, which is why this training regimen has been so important. Hill considers himself a modern fighter who favors the modern techniques of training. And while not accepted by all in the boxing game, Hill uses high-tech training and believes that in a war of attrition with Thomas Hearns on a hot desert night, that high-tech training could be all the difference in the world.
On June 3rd, I'll be ready, I promise. He's Clevin, the guy that I work with, my physical therapist and strengthening coach and conditioning coach and stuff, has done extensive studies on boxers and stuff. I mean, he has workouts particularly for boxing, you know, for boxers and stuff. And he's trained, you know, a lot of good fighters, you know, starting out with Larry Holmes. So, you know, Larry was kind of like the guinea pig, so to speak. So, you know, he's done extensive studies on that. And, you know, we found where, you know, it's not important to be in the gym taking the pounding and the, you know, the physical part of boxing all the time, because, you know, boxers' careers are very, very short. So then, you know, that one punch that you don't take in the gym may make the difference.
And now all of his work, training, and dreams lead directly to the hitman. And Virgil is ready for the fight of his life.
I'm a fighter that, you know, faced with, you know, a good opponent and someone that, you know, wants to come to win. I rise to the occasion. And so I think they'll see the best of Virgil Hill come June 3rd, definitely.
Tommy's starting to loosen up now. Oh, there it is. The left cross. A solid left hand to the jaw. And whether or not Morton can get up, I don't know.
Is a true warrior, a man who has always come to fight, a man who has always prepared well, respected his profession, and given it an honest effort. This is Thomas Hearns, the hitman, a boxer and a puncher, the pride of Detroit, as closely identified with the Motor City as the Pistons, the Detroit Lions, and yes, the great Joe Louis himself. He was the undefeated assassin who destroyed Pepino Cuevas in 2 rounds to win the world welterweight title. Considered invincible by many till that fateful summer night in 1981 when Sugar Ray Leonard handed him his first defeat in a magnificent exhibition by both. Hearns rebounded from that defeat to go on to a long and memorable career, resulting in 5 world titles. His record speaks for itself.
I think that if you want to accomplish something, whatever it may be, if you have a job or you have a certain thing in your mind that you want to accomplish, it takes a certain amount of work. If you're not willing to put that amount of hours and amount of work into it, then you cannot receive it, because it's not going to come just so easy for you. You got to work for what you want.
And what Thomas Hearns wants is another title, World Championship number 6. And now, 10 years after meeting Sugar Ray Leonard at Caesar's Palace, he again has put in the months of work necessary, including a tune-up bout, a KO win over Kemper Morton to get ready for Virgil Hill.
Virgil Hill is the next guy that's in my weight class that I must defeat to win the title. And plus, I think that he's been asking for me. And he's going to receive Thomas Hearns, but he's not going to like what he's going to get from Thomas Hearns.
Hearns has earned his fame and fortune in a glorious boxing career, but learned a new and different kind of satisfaction last winter when he traveled to the Middle East, the first American athlete to visit the troops readying for the Persian Gulf War. Hearns was a huge hit. None other than General Stormin Norman Schwarzkopf made Hearns an honorary general. After 2 weeks of give and take with the soldiers, it was clear that Thomas was touched deep inside.
To meet those people and knowing that every one of those brave soldiers knew who I was, it was just a big thrill.
Now the war is over, and Thomas Hearns had to ready himself for his type of fighting in the desert. Now, however, it is with a new trainer, Alex Shearer, who has replaced Emanuel Stewart. Only a few new wrinkles, though. Hearns believes that fundamentals win.
When you learn how to box, they teach you the basic steps, the basic jabs, the basic right hand. They don't teach you to start off with trying to get fancy and shooting quick, fast shots. They don't teach you that. You got to go and rely on the basics, just the jab and the 1-2.
Could a sixth title be on the horizon for Hearns? Virgil Hill stands in his way, but if he's successful, it's the history books and then long sought after respect.
I think that my place in history is definitely assured, but I think that having the recognition from being the first man in history to win 5 world titles, I haven't yet received that yet. People know me as being the first man in history to win 5 world titles, but to get that, I guess that big fame, that big glory, that big reception, I haven't yet received that yet.
And we are live at beautiful Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, on a very...
And with a very flashy-looking Space Cadet suit. What is that? He looks intense.
Well, they got a... Well, I don't think they're any threat to MC Hammer. But nonetheless, Thomas Hearns coming down. And Alex Shearer is at his side, his trainer now. And I think we must address this point at this time, Ferdy, the fact that Thomas Hearns, for the first time in a real big fight, will not be with Emanuel Stewart in his corner tonight. Could that be a factor?
It certainly could, but we'll wait and see. The interesting thing is Emanuel, who is a dear friend of mine and a great gentleman, picks Tommy Hearns to win today, saying that Virgil Hill is too amateurish for the talent of a finished professional fighter like Tommy Hearns. So we will see. As the fight progresses, we'll be able to determine that. But once the bell sounds, it's really going to be up to Tommy Hearns, and it's going to be up to Virgil Hill, and the corners really won't make that much difference at that time.
That is Alex Shearer, the chief trainer now for Thomas Hearns, directly behind him, just off of his right shoulder there. You get a good shot of him there. Alex Shearer, who was with the Kronk organization for a long time and has known Thomas for years.
And he's got his brother with him. Right behind him, you see Lloyd Wells, who is with part of the Muhammad Ali entourage for so many years.
Thomas Hitman Hearns. One thing that's going to happen tonight, there will not be large entourages. At least that's what they say. They're going to try and limit the number of people who get into this ring, Ferdy, after the fight to prevent the kind of ugly incident that occurred at the end of the Ruddock-Tyson fight.
Good luck, champ. We'll see you guys. Good luck.
Mills Lane, referee, very competent referee.
He's a federal judge. He's a federal judge and extremely competent prosecuting attorney for a long time. and an admirable man in boxing, because it's the kind of guys who like to attract in boxing. Very active. Although he had one bad night with Tommy Hearns, where Tommy got hit very hard by Kinson and rattled him so much he had to hold on, and he just could not separate them. And here comes Virgil Hill, the champion.
And Virgil will carry the North Dakota flag, as he always does, into the ring with him. The hero of North Dakota. He's got a biography called Champ that was printed up in North Dakota. It's a hot seller in North Dakota. And last week at a press conference, he presented a copy of it to Thomas Hearns, and he inscribed in it, "Good luck in your retirement. Best wishes, Virgil Hill."
Always a gentleman and a master of psychological warfare.
They're showing this fight tonight on closed circuit television at 39 different locations in North Dakota, and they're all expected to sell out. But a lot of fans from North Dakota have made it here to Las Vegas to cheer Virgil Hill on. They were present at the weigh-in yesterday.
They're a noisy bunch, I'll say that. They take their boxing seriously in North Dakota.
The light heavyweight champion of the world has yet to lose a fight. I wonder how he is feeling coming down that aisle into this atmosphere and these kind of conditions, really for the first time.
Well, there's a lot of relief in it, I'll tell you that. When it's finally time to walk down that aisle and you come down, it's relief mingled with apprehension, but you're finally getting it on.
There's the champion. Freddie Roach's trainer, very competent trainer, was an entertaining fighter to watch. Virgil with the North Dakota flag. Look who's in there with him. The mayor of Bismarck, North Dakota.
You got to get your votes wherever you can find them.
All right. Thomas Hearns is coming up in weight class for this fight. He has been, of course, a middleweight champ. He was light heavyweight champ once before, but he comes up. We take a look at the tail of the tape, and Hearns is still taller, as he has been over most of his opponents. Just a pound between the two in the weight. The most interesting and perhaps the most significant stat there that you're looking at, the age, 32 to 27. And now as we take a look at the rules for this WBA light heavyweight title fight, 3 judges, of course, 10-point must system, no standing 8. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect, and you can only be saved by the bell in the last round. So this is it. Thomas Hearns, Virgil Hill, the battle for respect. And here to introduce the fighters is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to ask you to rise for the singing of our national anthem. In the ring, presenting the colors, we have the U.S. Marine Corps Color Guard. And join me in welcoming our vocalist, the very popular and very talented Arista recording artist, Mr. Jeffrey Osborne.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in, came through the night, but our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey Osborne. Thank you to the U.S. Marine Corps Color Guard. Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and sports fans joining us around the world, welcome to the home of champions, Caesars Palace in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, as Forum Boxing Incorporated, in association with Caesars Palace, present our featured bout, the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Murray Sleep, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman James Nave, Commissioners Luther Mack, Dr. Elias Ganem, Bruce Lane, Nat Carasali. The Executive Director is Chuck Minker. Presenting the officials as appointed, physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Homansky, Dr. James Game, Dr. Al Campana. The timekeeper at the bell is Mike Lasella. Keeping count of the knockdowns, Jane Broadfoot. Introducing the judges at ringside, we have Chuck Jumpa, Art Lurie, and Jerry Roth. And the referee in charge of this bout, he will be giving instructions after the introductions, Mills Lane. All right, fans, here we go. This is it. The fight for respect, the bout you've all been waiting for. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first the challenger. On my left, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring with turquoise trunks and gold trim. Hailing from Detroit, Michigan, now representing the VIP Boxing Club in Venice, California. His weight, already 174 pounds. His outstanding record, 49 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw, with 40 big wins by way of knockout. Welcome, the legendary 5-time world champion, the one and only Thomas Hitman Hearns. And his opponent across the ring is the defending champion, fighting out of the blue corner. Entering the ring with black trunks, silver trim, and hailing from Bismarck, North Dakota. His weight is already 173 pounds. His outstanding record, 30 wins, no losses, with 18 wins by way of knockout. Introducing the WBA Light Heavyweight Champion, the pride of North Dakota, the undefeated Virgil Quicksilver Hill.
All right, come on, let's go. All right. Okay, now, all right, both of you gentlemen have had your instructions in the dressing room already. Expect a clean fight, protect yourself at all times. Any questions from the challenger? No questions whatsoever. Any questions from the champion? Let's get it on.
Well, if you're a boxing fan, you've got to love Mills Lane's instructions.
Yeah, and the little motion by Hearns was a little chilling, too. It's become a big production, these introductions, but when you got a referee like Mills Lane, you find a judge is sentencing you to start fighting from the bell. I mean, he's challenging you, and your heart is beating, and here comes the bell to start the fight.
All right, I think we know what to expect in terms of style from Hitman Hearns, but how will Virgil Hill approach this bout? Will he try to bomb with Hearns early, or will he be his usual boxing self?
Hearns looking bigger right off the bat. You look at a man that's physically bigger, more imposing than the champion, Virgil Hill, who seems skinny up top compared to Thomas.
Thomas moving forward, and Virgil with lateral movement as we expected.
Don't forget, while everybody talks about cannons and sharpshooting, Hearns was an excellent boxer most of his career. When he wants to, he can box.
Well, I think that's been borne out on several occasions, Ferdy. He can outbox a master boxer. He did it to Wilfred Benitez. He did it to Sugar Ray Leonard.
Absolutely. In the first fight, he turned from slugger to boxer and was winning the fights.
So Hearns does have that ability to adjust depending upon how a fight is going. Trying to stick that long left jab of his out and set it up for one of the most dangerous weapons in probably boxing's history, the hitman's right hand. Good combination of jabs. 2 jabs to the head, and then he went down to the body with it.
Virgil testing the water, seeing if his reflexes really are faster than Tommy's. So far, it's just tentative. He's just putting it out there, but he's been landing.
Virgil Hill, as we showed you on our pre-fight show this evening, will at times jab to the body, and he's done that a couple of times already in this first round. There it is again. Hearns looks like he's trying to get loose.
He's trying to get loose. It's what happens to an older fighter when you reflex. He saw the opening, but it didn't land. He saw that he laid out the left hand. He dropped the right hand, but he was too slow. He's trying to loosen his arms, like saying, hey, this isn't me. I punch faster than this. And it'll take him a round or 2 to warm up, too. Tommy will not start off fast. He'll start off and warm up to his task. Such a master boxer, he'll figure out Virgil. Virgil Hill must continue to keep his presence of mind, certainly trying to avoid the powerful right hand of Tommy Hearns.
Virgil Hill opened up when this fight was announced as a 4-to-1 favorite over Thomas Hearns, but the fight odds closed at about 2.5 to 1, with Virgil Hill remaining the favorite. So Hearns in a real underdog role. Each man trying to establish the jab here in the first round.
Very tentative round. Not hard combat here, but sort of a feeling out round, and certainly Virgil testing the water over and over. Can I get in there? Can I get in there with impunity? Can I punch and not be hit? The crowd's starting to come up from nervous tension.
But remember, Virgil Hill has said he feels he needs an impressive victory, a smashing victory tonight over Thomas Hearns. But in the first round, he boxed as usual.
Okay, perfect.
Let's listen to Alex Shearer now.
With your left hand. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Okay, lean your head back. Get a little closer to him. Just get a little bit closer to him and busy with your left hand. When the man tries to jab to your body, right hand down the pike and left hook behind it. Another thing, too, he's jabbing and trying to hook. Don't pull back. Right
now here's Freddie Roach.
All right. Keep that speed, all right?
Sorry, that pain stop it when you hurt
See, the pain is getting tight already. Keep that quick jab going, all right? All right, beautiful run. Keep frustrating this guy, all right? Get him reaching, all right?
Freddie Roach saying, you're frustrating him. Beautiful round. Keep jabbing. Keep moving. Keep being faster. All good instructions.
They felt, Freddie said that he felt that Hearns was tight. You agree with that assessment?
Yes, because you saw him shake himself out. You saw him, he's too knotted up. You saw physical evidence of it. He's tight in that he can't get that jab off as fast as Hill. That figures to be all night.
In watching the two of them train, it did appear as though Virgil Hill was a noticeably quicker fighter than Thomas Hearns during training.
Tommy's stepping into the action right now, trying to trade jabs with Hill. Hill keeping that distance. There's certainly no desire on Hill's part to mix it up with Tommy Hearns. So far in this fight, he has fought as he has fought his other fights, with a great deal of caution, using brilliant boxing tactics, hitting and not getting hit in return. An almost perfect way to fight if glorious.
Virgil Hill has really been serious, Freddie, about this respect thing. He felt that this was being turned into the Thomas Hearns show, and he was a little bit upset about that. The fact that the one press conference, for example, Hill was introduced first as a champion before Hearns, that an award was presented to Hearns at another press conference he was at, and he said, hey, this isn't the Thomas Hearns show. I'm the guy with the title.
Well, here's where to solve it, right in the ring. Nothing happening right now. Both men missing. Both men extremely tight and tentative.
Hill so far has been a one-handed fighter in this fight.
But he usually is. He usually punches. He's converted left-hander, punches, jabs, and then turns them over into hooks.
There's the first right hand tried by Thomas Hearns, and it missed. Hill with a good, quick defensive move to get away with it, but that's the first time that Hearns showed the bottom. And now he goes in with a left hook. Hearns kind of nodded at him and said, yeah, that was a pretty good one, Thomas. but not bothered by it, really.
Well, the crowd expecting instant results from punches from Hearns will roar when something hard comes, but it remains to be seen how Hill takes those hard punches.
Each man has got plenty of support here tonight. As I look at Mike Tyson in the middle of your screen, sitting there right between the two fighters, he's a real student of boxing. And look at he is intense in studying those two guys.
He is a student of boxing, and he's very knowledgeable about it. He's a reader, which most people don't understand. He reads books about it and other things. He's a surprising man.
Hearns has shown the right hand in this round. Hill still trying to utilize just the left. There's that snake-like jab of Virgil Hill. Goes to the body with it, comes back up to the head with it. But it's all jabbing from Virgil Hill so far. Thomas, a little nod of respect to the champion Virgil Hill. You know, Hearns, as we mentioned, went to the Persian Gulf during the crisis for the USO. Question now, will he continue to work with the USO and our troops come future years? Let's find out from Thomas.
Yes, indeed, I definitely plan to continue working with the USO. Matter of fact, I'm trying to put together a fund for the USO to help the USO to make it possible for different types of celebrities to go visit our troops wherever they are, all over the world, wherever they may be, send someone to visit them to let them know that we care back.
That's Thomas Hearns, and for this USO fund, you can call for information. You can write to 601 Indiana Avenue Northwest in Washington, D.C. at 20004.
You're beginning to see a tentative look in the eyes of Virgil Hill. He certainly didn't fight with a lot of confidence in that round. Once he felt the sting of Tommy's punches, I thought Tommy won that round, evening out 1 round apiece.
Well, both Virgil Hill and Freddie Roach have said that they felt that Thomas was on the downside of his career, and there were some who felt that maybe Hill would try to come out and bomb with Thomas. Did you think so, Freddie?
No, I didn't think so. Based on what he's done in his career, you always tend to do what you've done to win. There's no reason to go in the other guy's camp and fight his fight. I mean, I would say that what he wants is to get Tommy tired, so he's willing to while away these rounds in boredom before things get busy. Tommy just playing games.
Yeah, Hearns is starting to cook now. He's getting confident. Hearns is beginning to get more confident with each second.
He certainly has a look of confidence in him. He has a look of snapping the jab. He wanted, and he's closing the distance between he and Hill. I'm amazed that Hill isn't bouncing back away from that. He's standing there straight in front of him, not giving him angles, not giving him anything.
Virgil Hill is beginning to develop a bruise under his right eye. He's already eaten several of those jabs from Thomas Hearns.
And not that many. It's just that they're hard. I mean, Tommy does have a hard jab and can turn it over into a hook before you can say his name.
Something else we might note, there had been reports the last couple of weeks that Virgil Hill's hands were sore. You saw those hands. There were a number of abrasions on them, Freddie. What was your assessment of that?
He got some calluses on each knuckle. I don't understand why that close to fight things got that far out of control without treating him, but you can fix that. He certainly doesn't show any difficulty like that now. He's fighting with both hands without any kind of pain.
It's been a left jab round. The two just trying to out-jab each other right now.
Tommy's waiting for a mistake. He's waiting for this guy to make some kind of mistake. He's all wound up like a crossbow, ready to just fling, and when he doesn't get it, it gets so tight he has to finally loosen up his muscles.
But that time, as he started to relax and try to loosen up, Hill just tagged him with a left jab. There's that jab from Thomas Hearns, and now Hill brings it right back. Look at this battle of left jabs. It's an interesting battle of jabs, each man trying to be dominant with their left hand.
Virgil faster, Hearns harder. Oh, Hearns' jab is hard. It is snapping back Virgil Hill's head. That is an attention-getting jab. And the right hand has yet to be thrown by Tommy after all those jabs.
There's a definite reddening under the right eye of Virgil Hill. He tries to come across with the right, but Hearns answers with a counter right hand.
Virgil Hill is fighting wild-eyed. His eyes are wide. Tommy's are squinted. He's like ready to do battle. Ready to take this guy out.
There's the bell. Very interesting third round as we follow Virgil Hill back to his corner.
Give me the breath.
Here's Freddie Roach.
One going. Okay. All right, Virgil, here you go. Avoid. I want you to use your feint and back this guy up with your jab. Once you get him going back, you keep him going back. You understand? Okay? Double jab right here in the body, off to the side, okay?
Let's watch this jab. This is a jab that's making the difference for Hearns, because Hearns can put it in and follow with the right hand like you just saw at the center. The other look from a different angle, you can watch the power of Hearns as he comes back with the right hand. That's what he's been waiting for 3 rounds, and he landed it.
Drop down, hit right here. Keep it. Give him the mouth.
There's Thomas looking confident.
It's a bell one.
Boy, he has been wound tighter than a drum, though, for this fight. And just starting to shake out. And that was a real interesting battle of jabs in that round. And when they each finally threw the right, it was Hearns' right that got home.
You know, Hearns is the kind of fighter that doesn't look good in uninteresting fights with bad opponents. But when you give him a challenge and he gets all prepared, he's been training 6 months now, and that might have tired him out. Nice punch by Virgil Hill.
Hey, he's fooled people before. Don't forget 2 years ago when people thought he was a shot fighter going in to fight Sugar Ray Leonard.
Well, today, so far, he looks like a very determined, well-conditioned fighter. He's in here for the full 12.
Good jab from Hill, but then Hearns answers with a left hand himself.
The difference in these two is that Hearns has no respect for Virgil Hill's power, whereas Hill has a great deal of respect for Hearns, and that difference tells in those jabs. Hill's tentative and Hearns hard.
Again, that jab of Hearns still getting to work. He's landing it in the face, and Hill feels it when he lands it.
Well, they're already putting in swell in the corner to keep it from his eyes from swelling up, and they are swelling up. So something's causing it, and that something is the jab of Tommy Hearns.
Down to the body with a left hook for the first time by Virgil Hill. Good jabs from Hill.
And answering jabs from Tommy. Hearns is content to stay in this jabbing battle, and you get the feeling that any moment he's going to unleash that multiple combination that he does. And then we'll see where Virgil Hill goes.
Freddie Roach wants Hill to feint and get Hearns moving backward and then follow up, but he hasn't been getting him moving backward.
Well, the problem is that, yeah, that's right. There's only one way. It's forward for Hearns. He's just bounced back off the punch, but he's been coming forward or standing his ground.
Let's see what Hill does here with Hearns in the corner and along the rope. Nope, he allows him back out into center ring.
I don't think he wants him in the corner. He doesn't want him in any confined space where they don't punch each other. He wants to have ring canvas around him so he can move. First one did in the corner, but then the combination that followed did not land from Hill, but Hill's getting a little braver. At least he's trying something different than just a tentative jab. The thing that strikes you is he's not moving. He is not moving around like he usually does in boxes, but is standing straight in front of the cannon.
The lateral movement has not been there. He hasn't been circling. He's been in front of Hearns.
That's the beginning of the triggering that we're talking about. The left jab and then very hard right hand to the body or right hand up above.
Well, respect again. Tapping gloves at the end of the round.
Let's take a deep breath. Here you go. Give me a good deep breath. There you go. Good way, Tim. All right, Virgil. Much better round now. You're trying to back that guy up, right? So when you're not backing up, I want you using your face. He's trying to set up that big right hand. You got to use your face, right? Don't let his guy set. Keep backing him up with that good jab. Right hand to body work well for you. When you get him close to the ropes, go to right hand to body and the hook to the head. All right? When you get him to use a feint to get him on the ropes. You go to work. All right? Body work.
All right, we are through 4 rounds so far, and let's take a look at how the fight doctor has it scored.
And we've got it exactly dead even. That last round, Hill, because he stepped up the action, punched with a great deal more anger and authority, won and outspeeded. Hearns won it, and now we come back to round 5. The fight, as I have it, entirely unofficially, dead even.
Rounds have been close. Rounds have been battles of jabs. Hill comes out to try to land a right hand and misses. Again, you heard Freddie Roach keep telling Virgil to try to back up Tommy Hearns if he can.
The distance closing slowly between the two men. That battleground that Tommy Hearns seeks to get into and Virgil Hill hopes never happens is closing down.
What they have been countering each other with is the left jab. When one throws a left jab, the other usually answers right back with a left jab.
Dangerous punch to reach with that right hand to the body of Tommy Hearns.
Thomas looking for the opening. He really hasn't dropped a right-hand bomb on Virgil Hill yet. He threw one in the second round that just missed.
Nor has he advanced behind the jab. Usually Tommy throws his jab, advances, jabs, jabs again. He hasn't done that. He's been throwing one jab at a time. He hasn't followed his jab in like that. 2 punches and then the right hand. Good right hand.
With the right graze.
Yeah, grazing shot. Wasn't solid, but good idea on the part of Tommy.
Hearns now back to the rope, perhaps trying to lure Virgil Hill into throwing with him.
Yeah, I think he is. He wants him back there.
That touch from Virgil Hill, that knocked Thomas back a step. And Thomas got a kind of an angered look on his face after he took it.
And his back leg did a little wobble, which may be the legs or just maybe a slick spot in the corner.
2 good jabs by Virgil Hill, and another one by Hill. Now Thomas Hearns just misses that right.
But he got in his good jab, so it's pretty even exchanges between these two as the action is heating up. Hill is now fighting Tommy Hearns. All misses on the part of Virgil. Comes in a little sloppy.
That right hand so far for Virgil Hill, as you mentioned, missing in a sloppy fashion, has been largely ineffective so far tonight.
So far, Hearns has neutralized Virgil Hill's hand speed by jabbing with him repeatedly and tying him up. And of course, the surprise is, we keep repeating, Virgil's just not moving. He's not on his bicycle. Oh, little battling on the part of Virgil Hill. Didn't look pretty, but he was trying to get some advantage to the body.
That took to the body, came right back up to the head. Virgil Hill a little more offensive-minded in that round. Started to come on a little bit.
How slow? One more? How slow? Good job. I still can't.
Let's take a look at Hill. Watch Hill's action. Now you see he's getting determined and he's getting brave. He's starting to really fight. Let's take a look at a punch from sort of a ground level. Bump and down below and over above. He's starting to cook. That bears another look. Let's see how close, right on the button, Tommy Hearns reflexively falls back.
Hearns was launching left at the same time, but Hill's got there first and with the most power.
You're going to have to test him downstairs and start breaking him over the top. The man is busted up. Come on, lay with that jab, okay?
You get in front of him, tell him squat down, hook right here, right on top, okay? Because every time he squat down, he defeated the jab. Squat down, hook right here.
Those last words were spoken by Billy Hearns, who is the brother of Thomas, who's now working in the corner. The chief second and trainer, however, is Alex Shearer, who was in the ring with him.
Hill is beginning to show signs of this tough jab. Not only is it swelling, but it's swelling into both eyes. And no marks on Tommy. Tommy's legs have not carried him forward like they should with his jab. He's sort of just a statue standing in front of him. His back leg is not giving him the propulsion that he usually has. And it caved in under him in the corner, which looks clean, doesn't look like it has any water over it. First movement from Virgil Hill.
And he was going side to side, and Hearns was trying to cut him off and trying to keep him from coming back out the center ring to finally work it over. Nice jabs by Thomas Hearns. Two of them, Ferdy, put them together. Hard jabs.
And if his legs will just carry him forward with that, and he comes in with that right hand, he's going to be right where he wants Hill at the end of his jab.
Again, Thomas has been yet to drop the bomb on Virgil Hill. He's done a good job with his left jab. No knockdowns in the fight. We are in round number 6. Hearns with the right hand, but Hill managed to move inside of that punch, and it went behind him harmlessly.
This is a fencing match. Instead of swords, they're using left jabs. I mean, Tommy's trying to bust up his face with a left jab, hoping to follow with the right, but it seems that that's his strategy. Just use that left hand. This round, it's been working very well for Tommy Hearns.
In round 5, Virgil Hill was effective. He opened up a little bit more offensively, but he has not followed up that momentum here into round 6.
And it could well be that Tommy's offensive is starting to put some doubts in Virgil's mind.
And now we see a slight suspicion of blood from the left nostril there for Virgil Hill.
Oh.
Right uppercut that caught Virgil Hill on the inside. And a follow-up right by Thomas Hearns. Thomas on the attack really for the first time tonight.
And bombs are landing on Virgil Hill, and Hill smile back. Uppercut, right hand.
Here comes the hitman. Virgil Hill smiling at him, nodding at him.
That's not good news anywhere.
Now Hill trying to answer back with something other than a smile. Right hand again by Thomas Hearns.
Well, you're not going to take too much of that. He better start doing something else.
Left hook from Hearns. Thomas really mixed it up well in that round. He mixed up his attack.
Big
the
round.
left and the right.
Big round for Tommy Hearns.
Virgil, you're taking too many chances, man. There you go. Now you're letting him get too much momentum going. You're waiting on him too much. He's going to be forcing your jab. You hear me? Double and triple your jab up. He's forcing you. Don't wait on this guy. First you're facing jabs. You hear me? Go to work out there.
And here is the Hearns barrage. Watch the succession of punches. He held his head, hit him with an uppercut. Now he's belaboring his body, and these shots are landing, and with great effect, even though Hill is smiling. That's one of those, it doesn't hurt, but it really does. Now you see, that's almost a foul. You can't hold his head and hit him like that. But two resounding body shots. He came back with a series of spectacular shots, which should have at least put him down, but it didn't.
And that right uppercut started it all as we go into round 7, but there was obvious concern in the corner by Freddie Roach of Virgil Hill.
Oh, he should have. He said, don't let him get started. Don't let him get brave. Well, I mean, it's very easy to say, but it's because Tommy was having his way.
He said, you're letting Hearns get too much momentum. So Hill, let's see if he tries to offset that now and get something again going himself offensively. But that was a Thomas Hearns round in the 6th.
Oh, it's a big one. Now comes Virgil Hill's time in offense, and this is when he can get careless. Obviously, his corner's charged him to come back and take a round. Virgil's trying to go back on the offensive, but now he's facing a Hearns who's tasted blood. He's tasted what he wanted to, solid shots.
Only the last left really landed, and that was up high on the head, and that 4-punch combination by Hill.
Tommy playing with him a little bit, letting him get brave, trying to lure him into another one of those punch-outs.
It's beginning to find its mark. He's measuring him with the left and then throwing the right.
And he can't go on all night. You can't let Tommy Hearns hit you with the right hand all night long. Nobody can take that. And if he ever uncorks the left hook after the right hand, then you got major trouble on your hands if you're Virgil Hill. Again, Virgil Hill right in front of the cannon.
Hill trying a left hook to the body. We haven't seen that from Hearns. You know, late in Hearns' career, he really developed a fine left hook to the body from long range. He used it to really blast out James Schuler. And of course, he was really blasting Iran Barkley with that left hook to the body until he got knocked out himself.
Two sweeping hooks to the body were blocked by the arms of Tommy Hearns. Surprising that he didn't come in inside those hooks and land a straight right hand. They were open. It was open.
Hearns, at least so far in this round, has not pressed the big advantage that he had in the last round.
Yeah, he's let the momentum slide again. Just what it seemed like. This momentum of the chance. Again, a good right hand. And a better left hook to the body by Tommy Hearns. A good hook to the head by Tommy Hearns.
Virgil Hill just has not shown anything to really bother Thomas Hearns in the way of power so far.
And twice Hearns has hooked him behind the head with his glove and hit him with his right hand. And Mills has not warned him yet. I've not seen it.
Well, we are through 7 rounds of a fight that has been very interesting. Only one real decisive round between the two. Here's Alex Shearer now with Tommy Hearns.
Deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay, look. Listen to me close. Second win. Deep breath. Take it deep.
There's a kind of right hand by Hearns that has put away many an opponent. And what seems to be impressive to me is Hill's taking them very well. He's taking these shots very well and not showing anything except that his face is breaking up. Let's take another look at it if we can. And apparently we can.
Keep your hands up. Listen to me.
The surprise.
Double stick.
Let's listen a moment.
Break to the body. Okay? Don't be blowing your nose out there. Right get back here. Deserve to be hit with the right hand, okay? Tommy, keep them hands up when you go home, baby. Keep them hands up when you go home. Now keep them hands up. Keep that right hand on chin.
The scoreboard and Hill slightly 67-66 ahead. Although if you're just walking in and not keeping score, you would have to say that Tommy, based on that big round that he had in the 6th, had turned the fight and was starting to go right down victory trail. Hill came out. He is an undefeated champion, a man who does not know defeat, and took the next round.
Well, Hill has yet to show that he can hurt Thomas Hearns.
You know, the whole rap on Tommy is he's been hurt by almost every fighter that hit him on the jaw in the last 2 or 3 outings in the last 2 or 3 years, actually. And yet, he has taken everything that Hill has thrown. He's landed solidly, and it hasn't bothered Tommy at all. Well, he's trained 6 months, he said. Sometimes that's disastrous for an old fighter, but right now, it looks like it's paid off.
Hill still trying to see if he can back up Hearns if possible with the jab. Hearns again trying to shake out, lowers his arms to his side, shakes them both. There it is again.
He does that a lot, though. I mean, at first I thought his arms get tired. He's doing that. Muscle bound tired. He's done that all his career. When he was a young man, he did that all the time. Sort of an affectation he does. Oh, nice hook.
Short, compact hook by Thomas Hearns to the head.
Boy, that's the kind that snaps you back. Makes you pay attention. Again, action is slowed up. Tommy just trying to pick his shot.
Virgil's right hand has been a total non-entity tonight. He is trying to beat Thomas Hearns as almost a one-handed fighter, and there's the left jabs from Hearns right back.
But he's always done that. He's always been a left-handed fighter. Oh, another right hand over the jab. Very well by Tommy.
Well, you can do that to defeat the likes of Mike Peake, but I mean, you know, I don't know if that's enough to beat a Thomas Hearns.
Well, he better start throwing pretty soon. Tommy seems to take alternate rounds. I mean, he takes one, he gives one, he takes one. Now he's fighting well again. Looks like he just needs a little opening, and he's going to be back into that combination style. There it is. 3-4 straight, good, hard jab. He got hit a jab, but not as hard as he threw.
Yeah, he jarred the head of Virgil Hill on that triple jab.
He may have to stop this and tape up the gloves of Virgil Hill. His tape is coming off.
Well, right, that was not a good punch thrown by Thomas Hearns.
But he didn't pay for it like he should have. I mean, you know, as quick a hands as Hill has, when he reaches with a right hand like that, he should have really got kicked for it.
He should have had an opportunity to exploit it. I think it was there.
Yeah, it was there. He's fighting cautious. You know, he's not afraid.
Go here, Tommy. Time. Come here.
All right, here's what you talked about, Ferdy. They've called time here now. They'll just cut that tape out.
All right. Here we go. Tommy, here we go.
Final few seconds of the round. Virgil Hill back to the corner, and Freddie Roach again immediately with him.
All right, Virgil. You're letting this fight get away from you, you hear me? You gotta pick it up. You gotta fight this guy right now, okay? Combinations, let's go after the sucker, right? You hear me? Where's your bone in this fight? Let's pick it up. Okay? Go with your
Let's look at these hard right hands, that left hands. Let's look at the left hand that he throws. Hook right there. That's a perfect hook. That's just what he does so well. And now coming back the other way, look at the master boxer. 1, 2, and 3 jabs. Now that is nice boxing on the part of Virgil Hill. The difference was in the power. Hill was scoring points like with a fencing sword, and Hearns was hitting him with a mallet.
When you jab it off of it, go reverse it, okay? When you jab it off, keep it back.
Well, they're firing a lot of information at Tommy Hearns in the corner, but the biggest information I thought and the most significant was what Freddie Roach said to Virgil Hill between rounds. Ferdy said, you're letting this fight get away from you.
Yeah, and the same thing could be said to Tommy. He's giving alternate rounds away. I mean, every once in a while, he comes out, he takes a round very, very big, and then he just rests the next round. He's got to put 2 or 3 together. He's got to give Hill the idea that it's desperation time. There you go.
Combination of 3 punches with the left hand, body and head.
And again, nothing with the right. Nothing that landed. So often in his career, Tommy has come in as a wanted heavy piece of artillery and he turns into a boxer. Tonight, he is boxing again.
Well, he has seemed to take delight because so many people, his reputation has always been as a slugger and a guy with a big shot, but he has taken delight when he's been able to outbox boxers. Most of these punches in a rather wild exchange missed. Right by Thomas Hearns, and Virgil Hill felt that one, but he took it pretty well.
There's another hook. That was a left and a right and a hook and another right now. And a left behind it.
There
and a hook
Hearns.
behind it.
He's starting to land some big bombs, and Virgil Hill standing there did not wobble.
Boy. Virgil went two inches off the canvas with that right hand.
Hearns coming on strong.
What a chin on Virgil Hill.
We are in round 9, and Thomas Hearns is enjoying a good round. Solid round for the hitman.
What a hit.
To the left and the right hand by Hearns. And Hill is in some difficulty here. Throwing some little pity-pat punches in close, but he's going to need more than that to keep Thomas off.
I'm surprised Tommy didn't come in with a finisher there because Hill is waving in the wind. He's certainly not got anything on his punches. He can come right through him if he wants to.
Virgil Hill has only been down once as a pro. That was against Bobby Ches.
Well, I don't know what you have to hit him with to put him down because this man can punch, Tommy Hearns. It's the last thing that goes in a fight of the puncher. And he has hit him a shot that would have put anybody out.
Hill trying to get something going with the left hand again.
Tommy should take advantage of Hill trying to make up for lost points here. He should invite him to come in. There you go.
Right hand a little bit low. Hill's lane was on the other side there. He was blocked from that. Took by Hearns to the body.
Those are power blows. That's Hearns' power blow when he turns it down like that.
Very good round, the 9th for Thomas Hearns.
Another excellent round like the 6th. Big Tommy.
One more. Get it? All right, Virgil. You got to thinking I mean more than that. You've got to keep this guy going backwards, you hear me? This guy's dead tired. You fight for 3 minutes, he's finished. Okay. Back him up with your jab and throw your combinations, Virgil. You got to pick it up. Please, please. Drink it.
Let's look at this bombing right hand. Watch, the left hand comes in first, then the right. And look at the little dance that Hill does. One. Now watch the left hand first, sets it up. Wang, right there. Look at the little dance that he does. And a hook behind it. That should have put Virgil Hill out. But he didn't. He's still here. Still in this fight.
And now for the first time tonight, we hear the chants of Tommy. Tommy, how do you have it scored, Ferdy?
Well, so far, Hearns is ahead 86-85 now, and the base is that last big round. And it remains to see how the judges treated those 2 big rounds, because they were big, and they did wobble Virgil Hill.
Now, Thomas Hearns is the guy coming on strong, and there was clearly a sense of desperation in the message that Freddie Roach was giving to Virgil Hill in the corner. And now underneath the left eye, we see the first bruising as well for Virgil Hill. He's already badly bruised under the right eye, but now we see it coming out under the left eye as well.
Tommy just playing, doing a little showboating. He really doesn't need that. He needs to get back into business here. He's not that far ahead. He is, however, the momentum is in his favor. Everything is in his favor. Virgil Hill is starting to fight a desperation fight, as his corners told him. This is slipping away. Tommy can't afford to be so patient that he gives away rounds, and it certainly doesn't look like it there. He's double, triple jabbing.
I think the biggest shock, perhaps, to Virgil Hill is that Thomas can jab with him. And his jab has been as fast and much harder than Virgil Hill.
Biggest shock to me is that Virgil Hill hasn't moved around. I mean, I just don't understand a guy that got here by playing Pony Express can all of a sudden stand in front of a cannon and challenge him to get hit and get hit. Nothing in the punches of Virgil Hill.
He got no body behind him at all. He is landing some arm punches with that left, but Hearns hardly bothered by him.
No, and he's waiting too long. He's letting points be built up by Hill with nothing punches. He's just giving him a bonus. Pretty soon that right hand will follow the jab. Tom setting up the right hand.
He has yet to throw it in this round. Virgil Hill's picking up some steam with his own jab this round.
Because Tommy's letting him.
Is Hearns taking this round off, Ferdy?
It certainly looks like it here. Almost after just where the momentum has totally changed. Low blow. Low blow. Mills on the wrong side of that. Virgil Hill landed a low blow. Tommy didn't like it, but not that bad. Puzzling how Tommy Hearns, with such an advantage, is dominating almost when he wants to fight. He's dominating Hill and letting him come back into the round even though he hasn't got any strength or danger.
Here, lights off. Time.
They're taking the mouthpiece back to get it washed off after the mouthpiece came out.
Let's go. Come on. Here we go. Time in.
Looks a little
Thomas,
tired.
come on.
Nice jab by Hill. And the bell to end round 10, one in which Hearns really did not do much. But perhaps he was saving it up for a big finish. 2 rounds to go.
I don't understand giving away rounds when you have so totally dominated the one before. It's so easy to pick up the next one.
We got to keep dogging him. You got to stay busy with both hands. Listen to me, man. You got to bite down.
This is a man who has a storied career behind him, Thomas Hearns.
You letting
5 world titles, 5 different weight classes. You take a look at the welterweight, which he won over Pepino Cuevas, the super welterweight when he beat Benitez, the light heavyweight title when he knocked off Dennis Andrews, the WBC middleweight championship he won, and the WBO super middleweight crown. This is a man with a great history behind him. Could it be a 6th title is in the offing here tonight?
Well, it certainly looks like if Tommy has a lot of willpower, it's the 11th and 12th, the championship is his to be taken.
Hill trying the right finally after following it with the left. Now Hill trying to be a little more active offensively. Perhaps he's testing the water here to see if Hearns is slowing down after Hearns really didn't do a lot in that last round.
Well, they told him he's got to take these rounds, but they said the same thing in Hearns' corner. They said, you got to put the combination together, you're going to sleep. Now, whether he's tired or whether he can't get that old body to respond is another thing, but certainly with the advantage he had, he sure should have come ahead. So now he's got these 2 rounds. He blows these 2, and he's blown a chance to win another victory. On the other hand, if he wins these 2, it could very well be that he wins.
Good right hand by Virgil Hill as he backed Hearns into the corner. There was a good right before they got tangled up, and it was Virgil Hill who landed, and Hearns kind of slapped at him right back.
Sharper punching from Hearns again.
You know, I think that was the first clean right that Virgil Hill landed in this fight for him.
Yeah, it has. He has just not thrown it. See, he's not throwing anything there, and Tommy's blocking it all. Curious to see that Hearns has let the fire die.
Hearns appeared to be taking total command of the fight in round 9. Really had a big round. Here's the left hook from Thomas.
Now that's a big hook. And comes back Hill with a good left and right.
Hill trying to fire back, looking for that long sought-after respect. That was the theme of this fight, a battle for respect. Right hand by Thomas Hearns. Wobbled Virgil Hill a little bit.
Another good shot to the body by Hearns, and now Hearns is building up these points. Good hook by Hearns.
Here comes Thomas again. He'll go to both the body and the head. He just missed with the right hand. Follows it up with the left. Hearns missing. There it goes. There's the right hand by Thomas Hearns. Hill again in some difficulty.
Hill in difficulty. Sledgehammer blows by Tommy. Sledgehammer blows.
Hill trying to fire back. But does he have anything with which to hurt Thomas Hearns?
It's all macho on the part of Virgil Hill. He's just trying to show his heart, but that could be very dangerous instead of trying to hold on and tie up.
It's a big rally by Thomas Hearns. Hill is not wobbling and staggering. We're not trying to mislead you that way, but he was in some trouble, a little bit of difficulty there, no question. And now the champ, Tommy.
You could see his punches had nothing, and you could see a look of desperation on his face. Another big round for Tommy Hearns.
Bell ends round 11. I think these instructions from Freddie Roach.
This guy stumbling around out there. You got to finish the sucker. You gotta knock this fucker around. Let's go now. You gotta pick it up. First, you gotta go punches. Inside with this guy. Open up. You hear me? Both hands. You're in there doing nothing. Your hands are free. You get mean, Virgil. Come on. Fight this guy. You open up inside.
That right hand that lands solidly would have put just about anybody away, and yet Virgil flails back almost reflexively because it's almost impossible to imagine why he didn't go down. Well, this fight's up for grabs. I have Tommy ahead, 105-104. Tommy smiling.
Freddie Roach was pleading with Virgil Hill to let his fists go in this round. Absolute desperation coming from Freddie Roach. He's going, your hands are free, throw something.
I hope Tommy doesn't think this fight's in the bag and can rest this last round. He has had such bad luck in the fights that he's ahead and got caught, but it doesn't look like Virgil Hill's got anything to catch him with. Hill has no power left, and well, he shouldn't with the hammering blows that he's taken. One thing can be said, he's got a granite chin, has Virgil Hill.
I think Hearns has got to approach this 12th round with having a good round. Remember, 2 years ago, everybody thought he was miles ahead of Sugar Ray Leonard when they fought. And Hearns got caught in that last round, lost the last round, and ended up getting a draw in a fight that everyone thought he had won.
That must be going through his mind, but he has to know that he needs this last round. He has to know that in a close fight, It just may be the champion that takes it. So even though he's a legend, oh, here comes Tommy Hearns.
So much more on the punches of Hearns than Virgil Hill.
When Hearns' mind clicks into killer, boy, it is a different fighter that punches.
All right, come on.
And when he punches, they're so accurate and so effective that the points build up. It's going to be hard for Virgil Hill to retain his championship, but then again, we have seen stranger stories.
Hill trying to be more aggressive, trying to throw the right now, but in doing so, don't forget, he becomes a little more open for the Thomas Hearns bombs.
Mills Lane's done a very decent job of refereeing because you haven't seen him, and that's when you know the guy's doing well.
Hill coming forward finally with the right, throwing the jab. Less than a minute to go in this fight.
But getting hit as he does that. As soon as he comes in, Tommy's getting into attack mode. Oh, what a right hand by Tommy. Oh, another left hook right on the ear.
That right hand caught Hill on the side of the head, still jarred him.
What a heart and what a chin has Virgil Hill. On the other hand, let's finally say it, the weakened chin of Tommy Hearns has nowhere been in evidence, and his legs are there tonight.
Well, I'll tell you this, Thomas Hearns is not a sharp fighter.
Well, not off tonight, and he fought an undefeated, very tough fighter. In my book, he's winning this fight. This round is not over. It's been Hearns' destiny.
Here comes Thomas again, two right hands.
He's mauling, and he's beating him up, and now let's let it play to the finish.
They have won this championship, and that Thomas Hearns has ascended to a world title for the 6th time. The judges will decide that, however.
You know, as I always say, if you just walked in the room and saw this fight, you have to say that Tommy dominated the fight and convincingly proved to be a better boxer, did more damage with his punches, and should have won it point by point. I got it 115 to 113. May well be that he won it by more, and it also, since we have seen some strange decisions, maybe that Virgil Hill is put out. We'll soon see. Don't go away.
Well, of course, if you listen to Freddie Roach in that corner and the sense of desperation that was in his voice as he was pleading with Virgil Hill to throw more going into that last round, and Virgil did try in that last round to throw more punches, to be more aggressive, and I thought he was for the first time really in the fight, beginning to take it a little to Thomas Hearns, but there was no question that the difference in the strength of the two punches was so evident as Thomas Hearns just had more power, I thought, than Virgil Hill. But we have to wait for the official decision to find out who won this fight, and to tell us it's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 outstanding championship rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision, and here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Chuck Jumpa, scores about 116-112. Jerry Roth and Art Lurie, they both agree, they both scored about 115-113. All three in favor of the winner and the new light heavyweight champion of the world, Thomas Hitman Hearns.
Absolute joy in the corner of Thomas Hearns, and obviously a disappointed Virgil Hill. The scores again 116-112. Art Lurie, Jerry Roth each had it 115-113 for Thomas, which was the exact scorecard that the fight Dr. Ferdy Pacheco had it. But Thomas Hearns has ascended to the title, a world title, for the 6th time in his career. He just had too much power, too much strength tonight against a fighter with a fine jab, fine boxing ability, Virgil Hill. But Thomas Hearns was a two-handed fighter tonight, and Virgil Hill basically was a one-armed fighter. A fighter depended on his left jab, and now Thomas Hearns demonstrating to the fans that he again is number one.
Yeah, hey, fuck it.
Freddie Pacheco is getting Thomas
Tommy,
Hearns.
I know it's exciting and I know it's wild, even though no matter how many times you win the championship, it's always sweeter the last time, but you have turned boxer again, once again.
One thing I must say, I owe thanks to the good Lord upstairs. God was in my corner. Virgil Hill is not a man to take lightly. He's a fine, fine, fine boxer. And he deserves credit. And I must say that. Thank you, Lord! We did it again! Detroit, we're coming home! My corner people.
Tommy, you got an excellent corner.
Let me tell you about my corner people.
Fought a beautiful fight.
Listen, before I say anything about my corner people, I want to say hello to my grandfather. He's 108 years old. Grandpa, we get it again, baby!
Let's look, Tommy, look at a couple of these right hands, which seemed impossible that he could take that kind of a punch. Now watch the right hands that you have landed. Look at that.
He was determined to hang it out, and I was just trying to get in there and do what I possibly can, try to set him up for body. That's basically what I want to do, work on the body.
Tommy,
his style was kind of awkward.
On 3 different occasions, you had big rounds, and then you let him get back in the second. Why did you do that? Did you rest?
I got to get the win, you know. I'm an old man. I got to suck it up, baby.
So the whole story about your legs being weak and your chin being weak has gone bye-bye.
They look weak to you.
Well, listen, let me tell you, I'm one of the ones that thought you might have overtrained, and I was wrong, and you were right.
Doc, what I want to say, the good Lord strengthened my leg and body, helping my corner people, Alex Shield, my brother Bill, and my entire staff. They made it all possible. Okay. We ran heels every other day.
Thomas Hearns back, and I, for one, am glad to see it. Back to Rich at ringside.
All right, thank you, Ferdy. And, boy, the joy written on Thomas Hearns' face is clearly evident. Well, now we have the other side of the picture, and that is Virgil Hill. Standing by with him is our Al Bernstein. Al?
Well, Virgil Hill, always a class act in victory or defeat. Thanks for coming over here, Virgil. In the 6th and the 9th and the, I think the 11th rounds, he seemed to have you hurt. Were you hurt?
No, he hit me with some good shots, but, you know, he hit me, though, he didn't get in the 6th, a good shot. That's the only time I was hurt.
What, you couldn't get untracked offensively. What was it that did that?
I don't know, I guess maybe the hype of the fight, basically.
Really, like you were too tight?
Yeah, a little bit, you know. Waited too long in front of him and stuff. It was a close fight.
You couldn't get your left hook going during this bout. I know you wanted to use that punch. A couple times you got it in. Why was that? Were you just not able to throw it?
Yeah, just didn't throw it, you know, posed too much.
What about the future? Very tough after 10 title defenses. Will you go back to the drawing board and stay as a light heavyweight?
Oh, most definitely. You know, that's only one loss. I'm still at the peak of my career. Learning things. I just didn't execute the things that I should have.
And you'll go after the light heavyweight crown again?
Almost definitely. I'll get it back easy.
Disappointment, I know. How tough is this loss for you to take? Anything like when you lost the Olympics?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it was a close fight. I thought maybe he should have took it to me a little more. You know, closer fight. Should have maybe went to a champion, but oh well.
Good effort, Virgil. Virgil Hill, gracious in losing. Let's go back down to Rich Murata at ringside.
All right, Alan, thank you very much as well.
He was simply too tight for this fight. You know, we forget about this sometimes. Sometimes when a guy gets in his first major fight, it becomes a big problem for him, and emotionally, he really can't get over it. And I think that is part of what happened tonight. You know, I might mention to both you gentlemen that tonight we saw 4 championships change hands. We saw Alfred Rangel not able to take away, we saw Troy Dorsey win the vacant title. We saw Gonzalez win his title back. The NABF crown went the other way. And now we see another challenger pick up the pieces.
I've got to tell you something in this regard. At the Forum, the Great Western Forum, and of course Forum Boxing was tonight the promoter of this bout, it has become known as the Graveyard of Champions. In just the last 6 months, 4 WBC champions have lost their titles at the Forum. And so it appears as though the Graveyard of Champions has moved over here to Las Vegas as well for Forum Boxing.
Lots of upsets, lots of excitement here tonight. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. It was a night in which Tommy Hearns did something many people did not believe he could do. For Freddie Pacheco and Rich Murata, I'm Al Bernstein. We hope you enjoyed what we think was a terrific night of boxing. Tommy Hearns, you did it, buddy. Congratulations.